Hi, this is a video I've been meaning to make for a little while now, and it relates to my safety procedures for reloading, and specifically it relates to finding any what I call puffer rounds. So that's a round where you've got a primer in, you've got a bullet head on, but you omitted putting any powder in. So at the range, if you don't discover those, and at the range, the best case is you put that round in, you fire it, you notice something was odd, you follow the correct procedure, you take your bolt out, you look down your barrel, you see you've got an obstruction, and if you don't have a buddy with you, if you don't have a cleaning rod with you or a buddy with a cleaning rod, to get the bullet out there at the range, worst case is you have to go home to get the bullet out. Worst case, obviously, is the primer's got enough power in it to move the bullet into the barrel far enough that you can reload another round. You fire that round and has got powder in it, and suddenly your day has just got really bad. You've blown up your rifle, potentially hurt yourself, and you just don't want that. So this works for when you're loading small batches of rifle ammunition, sort of, I would say up to 200 rounds. I'm shooting bench rest. I tend to load up to 100 rounds at a time, and I now do this all the time. So my process is, once I'm done all my reloading, after I've done all the paperwork and written down what I've done and blah blah blah, my last step is to get a digital scale. Doesn't have to be accurate enough for sort of reloading powder. This digital scale is accurate down to 1/10 of a grain. Take the first case, put it on, and zero it out. And that's so the assumption is that's got powder in it, but this will pick up if that's the case or not. Put your next one on, and that's within 0.2 grains, 0.4 grains of the first round. So either the first round had powder in it and that's got powder in it and all's good, or both of those rounds don't have powder in it. Then I measure my next one, my third one, and it's within 0.6 grains. So again, the assumption there is they've either all three of those have got powder in, or all three don't have powder in. You're starting to get real problems if you've got three rounds that you haven't put powder in. Fifth one is within good limit, but by the way, in these rounds there's about 28 grains of powder. So that's okay, and that one's okay too. So the assumption is those first five, they're all good, so long as you're assuming all of those have got powder in. We can then sort of simulate a round without powder in. I'm getting a spent case and the spent case, and I'm using 64 grain Berger bullets here. Put a case with a primer in it and the bullet on there. That's either simulating, that's checking that all of those have got powder in it. And that's also simulating a puffer round. So if we now to speed up the process, what I do is I take those 5 rounds that I've checked and pop them in there, and then zero that out. So now I've got a 0 on that. I can put those 5 rounds back, and I can take the next 5 rounds and say, okay, those 5 rounds are within a grain and a half of the first 5 rounds. So they're all good. Now if I take one of those out and put this simulation of a puffer round in, you can now say, okay, one of those 5 on there is a round without powder in it, and then you go through the process of individually finding those. So take those out, put those 5 back in, and then do the next 5. And yep, those are all good. So it's you could increase this up to checking 10. Start to get as long as you're using the same brand case, same bullet all the time, you could now put 10 in and say 0 that out and put 10 that you haven't checked in, and that starts to speed up the process. I wouldn't increase it anything over 10. I stick at 5 doing my checks. If I'm only doing 50, I actually stick. I do each individual one. But I find this gives since I've been doing this, I have not had a puff around, and in doing this I have found around where I've obviously got distracted in my reloading process. Either the doorbell's gone or the phone's gone, something's happened, and I've gone and admitted putting powder in, and that would have been a 100-mile round journey to the range. I'd have shot that round, hopefully I'd have detected it, and blah 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 blah. It just spoils the day. For the length of time this takes, I find it's a really good process for protecting me against those, against my human error. So hopefully you found that useful, and thanks for watching.